evening, people. He's all right. Welcome to the Sweatbox yet again. Sorry for the shiny glare this evening. So I'll just make sure I've got what I need here. So I'll just go through the usuals. Anybody who's new to this is a channel that represents real people who accept the reality of their situation, and people like myself, I can only speak for me, but I know there's many people who come here had to dig deep in order to try and verify or falsify the deep-rooted belief that I lived on a globe, a heliocentric globe, pressurized rock with vast bodies of water clinging to the outside of it, zipping through a vacuous empty space. And when I done so, I found that it was wanting severely. Now, people have to take a direct approach to this. People have to be realistic with themselves. Science does not belong to any institution. Science belongs to you, the individual. You do not hand that authority and power away to any external sources. If you do that, you're entering into a world of ignorance and you're asking to be deceived. So science just means exploration. It's a word for the action of a human being trying to find out what the reality actually is. So if you stick to that, and if we stick to that in regards to each other, we start to establish what's objectively true and what is not true. We are duty bound when we make claims to each other to demonstrate our claims practically, not in a rhetorical fashion. It's up to people out there to test and observe things for themselves and make your own mind, be discerning. There is no authority. You are the be-all and end-all in regards to authority. If you lay out those tracks for yourself, you're asking to be burned. So take responsibility for yourself. As I say, I know that it's very easy for people to resort to appealing to authorities because that's what they've known. We've been born into this religious cult, and the default position is that people say, well, I'm not a scientist, so such and such is going to tell me what I need to believe and what's real and what's no. Well, if you take that attitude with anything, you're going to ask to be fucked with. So for me, and again, I can only speak for me, I don't accept any bullshit. If I look at my reality, in particular liquids, and I see how they behave, I commit to that wholeheartedly. I don't suspend it in order to adopt some pseudoscience which has been created and formulated to prop up a religious symbol, in this case the globe Earth, which is a religious symbol, and it is propped by pseudoscience. They employ sophism and imagery, okay, and playing on a lack of understanding in regards to things like perspective. That's what the globe is. It's a religious cult. We were born into that. And as far as I'm concerned, it has the burden of proof. Because in reality, I can only take my understanding so far. I'm now at the point where in all the full dimensions of this earth, there has to be exploration in whatever capacity. So there is no cartoon maps and models, and don't let anybody convince you that you must adopt a model, right? You'll hear the globe proponents talking about repetitive patterns in the sky and how they can predict when, they're going to see Venus or whatever. That's got nothing to do with the shape of the earth. Absolutely nothing to do with it, okay? So you don't need plastic cartoon models. This is not a debate. This is not a presidential campaign where somebody's going to be elected to be the spokesperson and leader or any of that fucking crap that people start to let into their minds. All right? So you don't have to adopt any nonsense. You just have to be realistic with yourself. So that's pretty much it for that aspect. I'm sick and tired of hearing the same propaganda coming forth in regards to flat earth and what it actually means. If you're new to this, I suggest that you remove any propaganda from your own mind and don't come here with any preconceived ideas and beliefs and what you think flat earth means. Speak to individuals, ask them to define what it means. That's how you have an actual conversation with a real being real communication, not just bringing loads of baggage with you and then fucking throwing it at people and expecting them to answer your straw man fantasies. Okay? So, you know, speak direct, ask people to define their terms and the words that they're using, the languages, slow your conversations right down, break it into details, analyse it, and then you might start to get somewhere. But in regards to people that are just coming here with the same old crap about cartoons and flat earth with edges, I'm not interested in it. You need to get fucking real. We're in a real situation here. I, for one, I'm continually pissed off and frustrated at this. You cannot have any, you know, grounding in any aspect of life that you're taking part in if you don't have a proper foundation. Without the psychological foundations and the physical foundations, i.e. knowing where you actually are, you don't have anything. All this life that you're involved in, relationships, career, whatever it may be, they are ideas, they are concepts, right? Just to try and satisfy you and quash these questions that human beings have, you know, intuitively, instinctively. What is this place? Why am I here? Right? So, you know, the majority of people right now are just living cult programs and they're not rooted in anything objectively true. They are just ideas. So for me, it's hugely important. There is no other focus of attention other than what I have to deal with directly in my everyday life in regards to my kids and my close family. But always in the background, I'm always asking this question, always waiting, always frustrated. So we have to remove these belief structures and stop trying to hold each other to these silly, idiotic beliefs, right? And control and dominate each other. It's just bullshit. For me, it's time for it to end. Okay? So I've got a different format tonight because of some unforeseen circumstances, which I'm going to talk about at a later date in regards to what's going on with certain personnel that have been involved with the channel. So I'm going to save that just now and I will address it in the very near future. But what I will say is this, and I keep having to reiterate this, if anybody, listen, you have to start speaking to people directly. Don't sit in wee bitch corners and beware of the people who are perpetuating wee bitch circles, right? Because it just doesn't do anybody any favours. This is the type of shit we're trying to eradicate. Well, I'm trying to eradicate. I've never had any patience for it in my life. There's no necessity for it. People fall into these wee bitch fests. They start having, you know, ideas above them their stations. They start wanting to dominate and start tearing each other's personalities apart. So, you know, people really need to be aware of this. This is a tool that's been incorporated. And it doesn't have to be a tool that's been incorporated by the Illuminati or, you know, people who are working for any government agencies. This is just behaviours that people have adopted through repetitive patterns. Right, so it has to be eradicated, and again, I'll be discussing that at a later date. So tonight, as I say, because of, you know, the way things have went, I am not prepared for people beyond the imaginary curve. I'm going to be setting up a new email address and trying a slightly new format in regards to people coming on and having their say, but that will probably be being done through next week for next weekend. So for this evening, I'm just going to focus on some of the comments that have come through in the last two videos and talk about a couple other wee bits and bobs. So, right. There we go. FPV Angel, Tom Corner, I am because we are one love. Ron Hagberg, Zoo Scott, how you doing? Steve HV, nice wee vid with a straight edge up to the horizon. No, that was Stuart Lundy, sorry. That was Stuart Lundy. Getting mixed up. Again, people taking it on board, left to right curvature doesn't exist. You're not going to find it. These sophists just want to play on straight out observations, particularly over water, because of the optical phenomena that happens with that. But we know about these things. Beyond belief, how you doing? Jamie Brown, John Doe, Pat Mustard, Cyangan, Buddy Stickle and Water, how you doing? TP in a Tree, Joanne Finley, how you doing? Scott T, oops. Heavy Metal Ruined My Life, Stuart McKenzie. Spirit of Longthorn, how you doing? Martin Healy, how you doing? R Green 216, Gary Lemazuria, how you doing? Harry Growler, how you doing, mate? Pat Mustard, Brian Ritchie, how you do? Stephen Watson. Jumping. Richard Butt, My View, 1875, Groovin' Suit 2. Miko. Andrew Calvert, Doc Savage, Sandman, how you doing? David Holsworth, P900 Cool Picks, how you doing? Martin Healy, Greg T. Beyond the non-existent curve, exactly, mate. Happy Mushroom, how you doing, bud? Tony Dixon, GB Empire, Lizzie Lizard. Oops. Sorry about that. Every time I touch it, it just jumps, so I'm losing the plot here. Mr. Golden V, Thrombotic Event. Gulshy Cats, how you doing, mate? Lynn Parent, Super Motarded, Neo Omega. Martin Haley, I'll give a shout out to my cousin, Ala Love. There you go, mate. Ute, ears to hear, eyes to see. How you doing? Meryl, how you doing? Alison, how you doing? Sandman, Cognitive Dissident, Jimbo, Ron Shekelson. So, I will come back to the chat, people. Just bear with me a wee second here. Derek F. Bomb Booking, how you doing, mate? Cheers for that, bud. I'm going to focus on that video right now. And just what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on some of the Globe trolley type comments, because they're infesting these comment sections. But you know, this is the whole part and parcel of, you know, my walk and what I've been about. You know, I want to highlight these things. I don't want to shy away from anything. I think we have to understand, so that you build up, you know, an understanding of these methods and these players and their games. There's no point in trying to hide it all and sweep it under the carpet and hope that it goes away. That's just not going to achieve anything. You have to build strength. You have to have armoury to what's actually going on about you. So I'll leave all these comments there. Just let them go on with it. At the same time, you know, if they're spamming, I'm going to remove the spams and just let them go on with it. But they're flooding these comments. You know, it's this, you know, position that these people are in. They don't have any fucking leg to stand on. Like the other night, you know, listening to some known fucking trolls, you know, they'll talk about how Dell's retarded, Dell's just a big fucking deluded idiot, angry idiot in the shed, he's a big fucking moron, he's a big, you know, every name you could possibly think of, every slanderous label you could possibly think of, you know, but yeah, these people have been here for 3 years. So you have to ask yourself, okay, so we've got a big retard in the shed who's angry, who talks utter shite, and the world's a self-evident globe. Why the push then? Why the continual focus on people like myself? Eh? Are you that worried? Does that mean you're aware that the populace are fucking retarded and dumb? You think a big retard in the shed's going to infect them with his delusional nonsense? Is that what you really think? Some, you know, random guy in the middle of a housing scheme in the west of Scotland with no money, no funds, no personnel, no access to any fucking tools whatsoever. Oh, little old me is now a threat to the world and people like me. Such a threat to the well-educated populace who are following a scientific fact that's been known for 2,500 years. All of a sudden, you know, along comes us, crazy people, and we're now threatening that. Never heard the saying, the truth will stand on its own. Well, I can agree with that, which is why I have the attitude I have, which is why I don't care about what people think of me, which is why I don't care about people's nonsense attitudes of thinking this is some sort of presidential campaign. and that we have to, you know, present ourselves in a certain way in order to appeal to the masses and blah, blah, blah. No, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I'm just going to keep speaking what I know through my own personal experience, and fuck anybody who wants to get in the road of that. Right? So if I decide I'm going to go into non sequitur and rip the pish to get material, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because that's the walk I walk. Okay? Regardless of what anybody's fucking wee idiotic mind wants to think. My integrity's there. I have walked the same walk and I will continue to walk it. So it's useful because, you know, we can't keep shying away. This attitude of turn the other cheek, sweep things under the carpet, kid on it doesn't exist. You're not going to empower yourself. You're not going to, you know, have a grip and have the tools that you require in order to, you know, face whatever corner you come to. So for me, it's hugely important that we continually focus on these things and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until it starts to sink in. Again, it's the same methods that's been used to put people in ignorance. We can use it for the opposite. So, just bear with me a wee sec here. Right. Right, as I say, people, I'll come back to the comments or the chat box. Right, I've got the phone there. So I'm not going to respond to the phone right now. As I say, I just want to get through some of the comments from the previous uploads and see what kind of nonsense we've been getting. So just bear with me. So there's no any need to really screen share this. You just be looking at text. I'll just read it out. So Edgar Francis, 1545, anyone? What happens at 1545? The video I'm focusing on right now is the £100 street challenge trial run, which again, you know, just demonstrates how easy it is to be indirect with people. And you have a laugh, you know, people think they're going to have the opportunity to win 100 quid. And it's a substance based on their reality. And the majority of people, as I continually said, you know, and I've seen so many other people saying it as well, which is very true. The majority of people know these things. It's just that it's suppressed deep within because they have a false religious image imposed over their discerning common sense. And that image is a globe, a sphere Earth. So when you show people these substances, it doesn't matter what walk of life they're coming from. They know in their rational, reasoning mind, looking at the reality, when I give them that, they know liquid is incapable of bending, behaving like they say it does on a sphere Earth. So, you know, it's testament just to, you know, a simple prop to be indirect with people and to engage in a wee bit of conversation with them and to hopefully, you know, get them thinking. And again, it's up to them to start thinking, I'm not a saviour, I'm not here to convert and convince anybody, there's no messiah complexes here, you know, it's up to people, you know, to start thinking for themselves. So if you can help to try and trigger that, then by all means, go for it. So, what we're here, we're at Edgar Francis, 1545. What happens at 1545?
You know what, I'm very down to I think it's a globe because it's what I think as well. But I also think there's so many arguments. That's the real.
Okay, so at 1545, I shook the boy's hand for being totally honest because it's an extension of, you know, appreciation that somebody has been as honest as that. So the boy says to me, he believes it pretty much because of what he was taught, which is an honest answer. And I reach out to that. I don't know what that's supposed to imply. Bob drinks, subtitles. No, the camera Bob with subtitles. Clean your fucking ears out. William Johnson, what about Bubbles? What about Bubbles? Again, you know, it's like, I think it's just the waves of new people coming in, but it does get wearing when you hear this continual bullshit and misrepresentations. A bubble It's totally different from a standing body of water fucking bending and displaying convexity upon the surface. Totally fucking different. So unless you're claiming we live in a bubble, or that the oceans are a big air bubble with a film on the top of it, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. Plum Fun. Lol, are you saying that no matter how much water you have, it will always be flat? That's what it sounds like. Well, that is physics of liquids. They can't support shear stress. It's the lowest potential energetic state for the liquid to be in. Flat. That's just the way it is. So if you're going to start invoking scale and say, oh, it's some unspecified large scale, the physics change, and water now has this magical ability to support shear stress and prop itself up and support itself so that it can bend, you know, you're going to be really hard pushed to provide anything. Again, this is just another display of the pseudoscience, the religious cult, and people trying to contort their own mind, delude themselves into, you know, trying to rationalize and reason with this, you know, religious symbol. Oh, reality must be like that because the TV shows me so. It's fucking demented. That's embarrassing, right? You understand things you're seeing on your TV don't represent reality or don't always represent reality, right? So when I have things in my actual tangible existence that tell me something about reality, and then I see an image on a screen that's contradicting that, I don't throw out my scientific understanding of the world I'm living in to support an image. That's what the Globe has done. It's created a religious fucking Bible with language and texts and equations and high priests and wee symbols to prop it up. It's fucking bullshit. Before going any further, you need to explain why water stays level and doesn't float off or get attracted to the size of the bottle, unless you are a rare F-ear who actually believes in gravity. Well, you know, gravity is just a word that describes the way in which things fall, not why they fall, the way in which they fall. The why part is just all mince. The how part is demonstrable. Okay? So again, you know, we'll probably get some newbie wet behind the ears thinking he's coming to put us all right with his utter fucking hogwash. And yeah, that's kind of important, says Plum Fun. All you're doing is showing that there are other people out there who have the same amount of intelligence thought as you. So what you're now doing is insulting people for them having a rational, common sense mind where they understand the reality and they say, nah, it's impossible to bend the water and get it go the line because water doesn't bend. That's just a fact. You, the whole scientific body, the whole fucking network, they're never going to debunk that. They can't. It's fucking impossible. The sooner they start accepting it, the better. So let's swear a minute. Ted Harry, evangelism. The only evangelism I'm seeing, Ted Harry, is coming from fucking Globe proponents, right? That's the only way I'm seeing it. All these dipshits on the TV in their wee safe echo chambers, you know, evangelising about how ridiculous it is to question the shape of the earth and how beautiful our space testicle is. That's what's happening on mainstream. Not from me. I'm going out and inducing critical thought in people and inducing conversations. No, trying to dictate to them what they should and shouldn't think. That's the Globe disciples, people like yourself, Ted Harry. Okay, they don't have the ability to actually discuss anything. You can bang all day about flat water, but you can't explain anything else. You haven't given explanations for anything, just claim Globe explanations are wrong. Well, that's all I need to do. If you come to me telling me that you are shagging, you know, a pink unicorn and it can fly, now I can just ridicule that and say you're talking utter bullshit, mate, until you bring me it. You know, show me your unicorn porn. If you can't, I don't accept it. So because, you know, I can falsify and ridicule your rubbish, I should have an explanation to what it is you're actually up to with your pee-pee. I don't think so, son. We globals are willing to give you flat water and no curvature. Who's we? Ted Harry, again, you're displaying your cult mindset, you know, talking about we. Have you got a split personality? Are you a multiple? Do you get different voices in your own head? You are you, singular. Unless you do have some sort of mental illness, split personality type behaviour going on. So you're willing to give flat water and no curvature, or you'll never move on. There is a million reasons why the Earth is a globe. No, nice wee assertions there without anything to back it up. There's no a million reasons, son. If there was a million reasons, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Okay? So shall we tackle opposite celestial rotation, the two poles, shall we? Oh, I wonder where you're getting your info from, or who you may be. Oh, never mind all this substance here. Never mind zero curvature and how liquids behave. You know, how aircraft fly, or how construction works, or anything. No, never mind that. Let's just look up there and fantasize about things that we know fuck all about. Again, more of the mental gymnastics that's required in order to perpetuate such an absurd, silly belief. Again, I appreciate the many people who have left, you know, positive comments, encouraging comments, you know, whatever. I'm just going to focus on, you know, the oppositions. You know, not that there is any opposition. The objective reality is only one. The only opposition to objective reality is people with an underhanded agenda to confuse people and to warp their minds into believing in fucking pseudoscientific crap. So, in that sense, I have to look at it as an opposition. Because on one hand, you've got people like myself who want people empowered, who represent real honesty, real intellectual honesty, and a willingness to understand what this reality actually is, regardless of what it is. Okay? So when it comes to it, you know, through this amount of time, as I expressed at the beginning, you know, these people don't have a reason to, you know, stand upon. They don't have any logical explanation as to why there would be such opposition and heavy focus on a bunch of delusional, retarded morons who believe in fantasies. Right? You don't see me hopping away to any of these people. You don't see me jumping in there trying to shut them down and profess to them. No, I've always just mind my own business, sat here on my own platform, and they just come to us or come to me like moths to the fucking flame because they're insecure, because they have lies to protect. They're deceitful. Mike Richardson, stupid ass. Thank you very much, Mike. Oh, my feels are just can't take anymore. Again, you have to understand, far too long in the tooth for this bullshit. If you're hoping to affect in a psychological or emotional, you know, area, you know, for fuck's sake, come on. Been up here for this amount of time, taking it left, right, and centre. Calling me stupid ass is just not going to happen. Sorry. Archaeopter X. What a wanker Dell is. Well, at various times in my life, I have been a wanker. It depends what you mean by wanker. You know? If you mean a physical wanker, then, you know, I'm not afraid to say it. Yes, I have partaken in some, you know, five-finger shuffles. But that's about it. You know? If I'm a wanker on a personal level, well, that's just your subjective opinion. It matters not, you know. Not going to please everybody. Not everybody's cup of tea. Hey ho. Charles Knowles, I think that this is the most stupid flat earth experiment that I have ever seen. It's not worth debunking. That's because you can't debunk it, George. And it's not an experiment. What do you need to experiment on? Water, liquids, it's been done. You know, the reason you know that it's been done is because we apply it in so many different, you know, facets of our lives. From building canals and dams to, you know, filling syringes or a glass or the kettle or your bath or a swimming pool or whatever. It's known. It's a fundamental fact, undeniable, demonstrable. So you can't debunk it. So you can act, oh, smarmy, like, all you like. It's too easy. Leave him to live his life in blissful ignorance. He's harmless. Well, go and tell that to the fucking, you know, immense amount of idiots who come to try and oppose objective reality. They seem to think there's a problem. Like this one. Mike Hemingway. Water doesn't bend. It's fluid. It doesn't need to. However, if you want to see curved water levels, look at meniscus. Yeah, we can look at meniscus on a very small scale. Right? Very small scale. In a container. In a vessel that contains a liquid. No on the outside of the vessel. Inside it. Or spin water in a container and it will cling to the sides. Aye, you know, I've never heard this one before. Well, let's fill a bucket up and swing it round our heads. Swing the bucket, Oh, look, the water's sticking to the inside of the bucket. I wonder why that is. Again, nobody is claiming we live on the inside of a bucket being swung by a fucking retard. Right? I've not met anybody who's claiming that that's what the earth is. As soon as somebody starts telling me that the earth's, you know, a water-filled bucket being swung by a fucking retard, then I might entertain your point here. Other than that, you just look like a fucking absolute moron. Please stop with the fucking stupidity. I don't know what your misleading question proves. Wow. Glenn Burrows. If you have a container that's long enough to leave the surface of the earth because it doesn't follow the curve, then the water will continue to do what it does. Be pulled by gravity that is perpendicular to the radius of the globe. Oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. Some assertions and some assumptions. Okay? So, as far as I'm aware, nothing, absolutely fucking nothing, is being pulled anywhere. Right? And gravity that is perpendicular to the radius of the globe from the centre, I'll add that in, right? It's just words. It's mathematical words and explanations, right? To describe and explain a concept, an idea, an image, right? Nothing about any of your sentence there is verifiable or demonstrable in any way, shape, or form, son. Right? None. Just because it makes sense in a mathematical bit of paper with some language doesn't mean it applies to reality. Okay? In order for you to make claims about objective reality, you have to back it up with demonstration. You can't see the curve because it's too big. Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go with the fucking God of the Gaps type religious fucking hogwash again. Right? Right? Oh, you can't see God because God's just too big. God's just outside time and space, and your wee human brain, it just doesn't have the capacity to understand it. Therefore, the flying spaghetti monster is fucking real. I hope that these dipshits start seeing these connections and how they're using the same fucking lingo as any other, you know, pseudo-scientific fucking hogwash that's out there. It's the exact fucking same. Excuses. Oh, it's there, but you can't see it. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Think bacteria on a beach ball, or more accurately, if the Earth were the size of a beach ball, then the scale of the ISS would be a quarter-inch above the surface. So now we've got to do mental gymnastics. For one, I'm not a bacteria, right? I'm a conscious entity that's discerning and thinking, that can assess and analyse and cross-reference and contemplate. Right? Your wee mental spasm that you want me to think I'm something that I'm no, just isn't going to work. So again, you know, we've got things we can't see, and now we've got stuff we have to imagine. I'm not interested, mate. You know, you need to just accept your wee religious belief. And if you don't want to keep getting it threatened, I suggest you just shut the fuck up. And you go about your business keeping your religious, derpy, idiotic beliefs to yourself. Okay? Stop trying to have it taught to fucking innocent, impressionable minds. Alright? You don't have an excuse now. You look like an adult. You should know better. Steve Rushforth, beyond the imaginary curve. When are you going to answer my challenge? Are you a man or a mouse? Here is a challenge to flat earth researchers, one they fear and can never answer as it destroys the flat earth fairy tale completely. Oh, I wonder where he's going with this. Methinks maybe a straw man's on the horizon here. The flat earth map. Okay, so again, you know, and as I say, I've got another video opened up here. And I came across, I don't know who it was that shared it, but it looks like it's some well-known YouTuber who's speaking to his brother in regards to conspiracy theories, and his brother's talking about flat earth. Now, his brother brings forth, I think he actually, you know, covers it and says that, you know, the majority of people represent this particular map and model. And again, testament to why it's such an issue and why we have to be wary of people that push this type of propaganda, maps and models. If you're a real person out there, you have to get rid of all that shit. You know, listen to what I'm saying to you. The reality of your situation, I mean, you're really, really honest with yourself is, you know, look at the claims that are being made to you when you know it's rubbish. What position are you now in? You're not in any position to start hypothesizing and fairy tailing about things that you know nothing about. Just be fucking real with yourself. Shut your ego down that thinks it has to have these fantastical answers. Just be fucking real. You don't fucking know what the full dimensions are. You don't know what the fucking sky is or the luminaries and what's going on up there. You don't have to. You just need to get real with yourself and stand firm in it. And fuck you to anybody that tries to mess with it. So the flat earth map, okay, so Steve Rushforth is coming here attaching, again, with his propaganda and his preconceived fucking hogwash, just hot air in his wee pea brain and spewing it like he's some sort of intellectual high ground, right? Fails in many counts. The most glaringly obvious is that they're almost 25,000 miles across. Yet on the real Earth, no two places are more than 12,500 miles apart. Can you explain why you think that is? No, don't have to explain anything to you, Steve, until you realise that you're asking me questions based on a fucking straw man. Now, what I suggest is that you go and ask these questions to somebody who represents the propaganda inside your wee pea brain. Okay, son? Jeremy X, I would honestly like to see a proof of a flat earth. Jeremy, there's no curvature. Look at the horizon. It doesn't bend. Liquids will always be level from one point to the other, no matter the distance or how far. Between any 2 points of landmass, liquids will always level out. So there you go. Level Earth proved. Simply. Oh, but it has to be more complicated than that because I've got big institutions with loads of funds and they keep pumping images and stuff on the TV and I have to somehow go and combat that. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. Understand what the horizon is. Understand there is zero measurable curvature. Understand how liquids behave. Understand how aircraft are flown and what coordinates are used and how they're tracked and mapped. Okay, understand how map works. Understand how navigation works on any map. And you will find the fucking answers, Jeremy. Don Quixote de la Mancha. I feel bad for anyone you accosted with this nonsensical religious garbage. There's no religious garbage coming from me. Don Quixote. And again, this is another aspect of what these fucking morons, you know, this is their tactic. They'll wait until a video's been up for maybe 24 hours or 36 hours, 40 hours, whatever it is, and they'll wait until the comments are filled up. Then they'll come in and they'll start bombarding your comment section to try and fill it up with all their fucking garbage, right? Hoping that they can sway, you know, anybody that's coming on it who may be on the fence, questioning their actual reality. Again, it's just part of the psychological tools and tricks that they try and use, but it's fucking pathetic. Okay, so no religious garbage here. The Globe's a religious garbage. Okay, son? Low water bottle proves flat earth. No, the water bottle, the liquid, the substance inside it proves it beyond any shadow of a doubt that it's impossible for you to be living on the exterior of any shape, son. You live in a contained system, right? Deal with it. You were born to sing. The beginning of the video is a turn off. Oh, I'm fucking so sorry. I'm so sorry that it's not palatable into your expectations. I will try to satisfy the viewer because that's what I'm here for. Yes, I'm here to gain popularity and to tick all the boxes as a good performer and presenter so that everybody's satisfied with my high quality production videos. When you face the camera to the floor instead of the people who are speaking, well, did you ever think to yourself that, you know, maybe some of the people we're speaking to don't want to appear on camera? No, that would be too much for you to contemplate. That would be too difficult. So how can I take the rest of the video serious? Sorry, I'm out. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm so distraught. So fucking distraught. You're only meant to take the video seriously. You're meant to discern for yourself. The video was just basically a demonstration of another, you know, idea, prop based in order to engage in conversation with people. All right. James Bond. Do you get condensation on the outside of your beer glass? No, I don't drink beer, mate. But when I drink water, there's sometimes with ice cubes in it, I get condensation on the outside here. That's bendy water. Oh, really, James Bond? Does it? Bendy water, okay. Fine. The Globe's now proved we exist as condensation on the outside of a glass container. Do you get my point? Do you understand, James? Do you understand that it's in no way, shape or form a representation of the actual claims? Or on your white wine glass. Oh, okay, so he's getting dynamic, you know, not just the outside of a beer glass, a wine glass. Oh, fuck. Rory's even better. You owe that woman £100. Pause the video at 9:05. There's curved water everywhere. When the woman squeezes the bottle and it sprays all over me, that's curved water. That again representing the actual claim. So now we've shifted from being a drip on the outside of a beer glass to, you know, we're now existing within a water droplet that's been squeezed out of a water bottle by some woman in the street. Again, the mental gymnastics that people go through is fucking incredible. Oh, again, Colton Moore. Water doesn't curve? Question mark. Ever see a bubble? Or a drop of water? Oh no, I never thought of that. Oh jeez, oh. Pour water in a small ball. Notice how the ball is wet and has a tiny layer of water covering around it? No. Well, the water just falls off. And you get a slight wee layer of adhesion. Right? Depending on what the surface of it actually is. Right? We don't get any depth to it. it's not like a body, a liquid, you know, where it's an actual body that's standing on its own, convexing and bending around the outside of the object. Don't be so fucking ridiculous. Again, more mental gymnastics, misrepresenting the actual claim. I mean, these people, you know, they want so desperately to keep this religious nonsense alive, but yet they keep shitting on it. Every time they try, they just make it worse for their own interest. And again, if you're a germ on that ball, it'd be like looking at a deep ass lake surrounding and curving around a little ball. No, wouldn't it? No, wouldn't it? Don't be so fucking retarded. Colton Moore again. Sun and star movements prove the globe. Oh, for fuck's sake. Again, we have every misrepresentation, every sophist fucking argument gone, apart from actual demonstrable, fucking measurable proof or practical demonstrations to support any of the assertions and idiotic beliefs. It's just a continuation of the same old crap over and over and over again. So we've got loads of people here, well, a few that I've seen saying it looks fun, going to try this with my hometown. Exactly, that was the hope, you know, and I hope people do that. It's a good wee icebreaker. It's simple, you know. And again, it's indirect. You're not entering into, oh, by the way, you're being lied to and the fucking earth's flat and all this fucking stuff. You know, you're just asking them to perform a task and get them to answer why the task's impossible. Spiritual reality. A guy called Rich Ferguson thought he could be funny and upload this flat, that Earth is flat. I seen that somebody else shared that with me. I'm going to maybe have a wee look at that. I don't know if I'll do it tonight or no. But it's just again, it's just more signs of death throes of this cult. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm just thinking that there. I'm thirsty.
Thirsty. There you go.
A wee cup of tea.
Like half an hour of water.
Yeah, Rods for Truth. Just a small 1 mile, 1.6 kilometre diameter lake should have a 4-inch, 100mm high bulge in the middle. Yeah, right. How do we let ourselves get fooled so badly? Exactly, man. This is the whole point. It's just fucking ridiculous. You know? And again, you get the sophist clowns in here bombarding, stalking every fucking comment and in there trying to fucking sow their seeds of fucking lunacy with people. Carol Davis, not sure about the handshake. If you're not a club member, what the XXXXX was that? Bad move if you're not. Good luck. So appreciating people for having the time and the decency to speak to you and showing a bit of manners and respect with a friendly, warm handshake is now suspicious. I mean, what the fuck? This Illuminati conspiratard mindset is fucking out of hand. Right? Fucking rein it in. And again, I had somebody else, you know, by all means, you know, as I always encourage people, ask questions. But somebody was asking about, I don't know about anybody else, right? But I've got this kind of habit. I don't know if it's it's because I'm so attentive, or just because I'm so used to these types of conversations, or if it's a conversation about something that you know about. And when somebody's talking, it's like your lips sync with them. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but I get it quite often. Well, I'm not even aware of it. It's not until I see it back and I'm going, fucking hell, I'm actually mouthing as they're saying these things. It's fucking bizarre, but you know, somebody's asking what that is. You know, I think maybe some people think that I've got, you know, the pineal gland mastered and that I can just sit there like you know, play people like marionettes, you know, and speaking, I can make them speak and all that fucking stuff like Bruce Almighty. know if you all seen the movie Bruce Almighty, where he makes the news presenter guy fucking. Well, it would seem to some people I have those powers. I wish I fucking did. Serbian conspiracy. Del. Just look. Those nice tattoo. Wish I knew what they mean, lol. You still look good at least. Well, they mean absolutely fuck all. Right? What they mean is that in my conspiratarded, mindset of times gone by, I thought I was quite deep, dark and interesting. And I thought I would project it and display it for all to see. Oh, look at the big fucking tattoos. That's pretty much it. Fuck all. The only meaning they have is a kind of deep, meaning in regards to manipulation, and the symbols that I identified in regards to that, and how I related them to certain aspects of life and reality. So on the right hand, you've got contemplation. You've got a nasty force contemplating using symbols and language and signs to coerce people's consent and to, hold their intent and their focus on certain aspects. And that's pretty much what it represents and all the rest of it, The owl, the skull and bones, some skulls thrown in there for deep, dark effect. What else can I say? I certainly ain't no Freemasonic, Jesuit, satanic baby eater. I'd have to be quite fucking retarded if I was part of anything like that to display it on me. I don't think I would be accepted in any secret organisations if I was giving the secrets away. I'm going to read that out. The Las Vegas elite. Dale, when they look back at these videos in the year 2118, you will be spoken of as a hero among men. I fucking hope no. I fucking hope no. And I hope nobody is spoken of like that. It's that type of mindset that holds people back, right? That allows you to impose fake histories and fake narratives that people identify themselves with. Bounty idols and hierarchy and all this fucking flaps. So I fucking hope no. I know that it's maybe coming from a nice place and I don't mean to offend you, but, any of that kind of talk, I'm not interested in it, and I'm going to play it down and I'm going to point at it and I'm going to laugh at it until people get it, right? What I'm about on the walk I walk is I don't bow to any hierarchy, and I certainly don't expect people to let me impose a hierarchy. No, I walk that walk. What I don't like, I'm not going to impose. What I see is having a direct effect in a negative way on me. I'm certainly not going to go about trying to push that on to others. So, hang on, I'm getting messages here. People messaging me while I'm on live. Aye, Gav, I'll send you the link. Hold on. I hadn't heard from anybody, so I didn't know what the plans were. Meryl, me and my mum noticed you lip reading a few times, actually, probably as a superpower, though, to be fair. Aye, superpower. Where the fuck was I now? Right. Loki Thornton, Sun, Moon and Stars. Right, that's as far as I'm going to go with Loki's comment. I'm sure we don't need to keep going over and over it again. You don't get anything measurable but the shape of the earth you're standing upon by looking at things you don't have a fucking clue about. Just because you see a repetitive pattern doesn't mean you know anything other than a repetitive pattern. Right? Just like if I was to come round at 12 o'clock every day and slap you across the dish, you would then have a repetitive pattern. What are you going to say to that? I could prove the shape of the world because Dale comes and slaps me in the face at 12 o'clock every single day. No, don't think so, son. Right. James Bond. Grand Kugel, large granite ball supported by a very thin film of water. Note in particular this quote from the video, it's best after it has been still for a while and exposed surface is dry. That way you can get a grip on it to get it going. Once it's all wet, it is slippery and hard to influence. Let's get a wee look at this, shall we? Oh, for fuck's sake. I need to show you this. This is how retarded these people actually are. Check it out. This is the level of retardedness. They still can't see it. What's happening down here? Son, what's going on? Right, you'll notice that the water in here's in a container. It's coming out of that container because of the pressure of that pushing downwards. And it's then going into this container. So there, right there, you have a more accurate representation of the possibilities of what the Earth is than this retarded bullshit right here. Okay? Stop being a fucking moron. It's telling you everything you need to know. What's happening in the water? Falling off. Binding level again. Just as it should. Just as it's always done. Just as it's always will do. Lunatics. Science is ace. He's another fucking warmer. He's one of these accounts that just constantly spams on everybody's comment. How do you know the water in the bottle is flat? Have you checked? How do you measure it? To what accuracy? See the majority of vessels and containers, mate, they've got wee lines on the side of them. Right? Even if you go to somewhere like a dam, even the ocean, it's got markers with wee lines on it. Right? It's the same all the way through the micro to the macro. Right? Because they know water is always horizontal and level from one point to the other. Okay? So people are measuring that every single fucking day. It's not something that has to be measured anyway. It's just a property of liquids and how they behave. What's this? Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm going to show you this as well. It's so difficult. Honestly. How to be a waterbender. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's the tap. The static charge next to a faucet. A tap. A running water. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's amazing. Now again, I don't know anybody who is claiming that the Earth is, you know, a container suspended in the air with a wee hole in the bottom of it, next to another polystyrene container that has got a static charge on it. We are running, I mean, do you have to keep explaining to these dipshits? That's not what the claim is. Nobody's claiming that. If you were claiming that that's what the Earth was, fine. But that's not what it is. Give me peace, please. Stop with the fucking retarded idiocy. So insane in the membrane, eh? I should do the same thing except with a BMW. It should draw a big crowd, but in the end I'll be driving it home. Well, if you've got the means to do something like that, another great idea. The bigger the prize, the better. You know, make it a big spectacle. Get people involved in it. Again, you're not barking at them. You're not forcing things down their throat. It's just a bit of fun. And what you're really trying to achieve is to get them to explain why it's impossible for them to achieve it, which was the whole point of it. Spartacus, bringer of rain, dude looking like an Aryan Brotherhood member. walking round with a water bottle and pulling Ray Comfort convos in people. Whatever, you know, pigeonholing, you know, stereotyping, it's not very clever. Water bends in a glacier, oh, for fuck's sake. Again, I don't know anybody that's claiming the Earth's a fucking glacier. Timothy Stockman, this is hilarious. He thinks one will be able to see any bend in a quarter metre of water, question mark. Water bends around the globe Earth. Not Disney, son. You can't just keep asserting these things. Liquids tell you beyond any shadow of a doubt that that assertion and that belief is absolutely preposterous. Now stop saying it. It's embarrassing. Okay? You don't live on the exterior of any fucking shape. If it's filled with liquid, if it's an abundance of liquid, you live in a container. Simple. The ocean is in a container. Fact. What the dimensions of that container actually are unknown. So I don't think there's really much point in going on and on. We just keep getting the same utter garbage for these people. Oh, we've got one here. What or not will respond to any and all forces act upon them in proportion to that force and blah, 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 blah. So we've got a big waffle. Right? All you need to do is practically demonstrate it. We've heard the waffle. We've heard the religious texts from the priests of the globe cult. Right? We've heard it all before, son. Right? Just as I explained earlier, I can get detailed explanations about unicorns and fairies in the fifth dimension. Doesn't mean they're real. Just because you've got a long-winded explanation. We're talking about objective reality. We're talking about the natural sciences and how we put things forward in order to display and demonstrate what's really true and what's not true. So don't waffle, just provide. Very simple. So I'm not going to continue on with that video because it is boring the fucking shit right out of me. It's fucking pathetic. Next. Right, where are we here? Right. What's happening in the chat? I'm just going to take a wee 5 minutes and let my fucking brain settle down a wee bit. You know, it's hard work having to deal with fucking lunacy like that on a daily basis, but you know, I can only thank them because they continue to provide material for us to analyse and tear apart, right? And if they keep continuing it, then we'll just keep continuing it because eventually, you know, people will get it. Bill, is Bill Flat Earth Florida here in the chat so that I can switch on the moderator thing? Bill, I'm not sure if you're there, mate, but can you let me know? What's this? Anyone seen the Adam Lanza lookalike channel debunking Flat Earth? No, I have not. Adam Lanza, that was him that had the, what was that again? Biocentrism. Is that Adam Lanza? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure that's him that puts forward the philosophical idea of biocentrism. Aye, fuck it. I'll take some calls. Where are we? If you want to phone me in or text me, it's 07393 654 544. Let me see what I've got here. Crystal Shift calling Dell, you look like a chief chef with that top on. Keep cooking that ball till it's well done. You're the best restaurant in town. Oh, very poetic, Crystal Shift. I like it. Hidden in plain sight is density's child buoyancy. You've got my brother to thank for that. Nice. Dell, look at what you have achieved in just 3 years, mate, and look how long the cult have been at it for. The awakening has begun. Well, it certainly has. You know, speaking to people who have these frustrations, and again, I had to get through them myself. People want change and want things to happen like that, but you just have to take a wee step back and think, you know, 3 years ago, how was it? How did the land lay? You know, and now look at it. Look at the amount of people that are involved, the amount of people I meet, and you know, on a personal level, out in the street or wherever I am. You know, people that are here, people that are popping up on YouTube and various other aspects of social media. It's incredible, you know. And again, just, you know, this, you know, you, the people out there, knowing what you're about, speaking to people in the appropriate manner, planting the seeds wherever you can, it has a huge effect, you know. And it doesn't come down to one presidential candidate, right? And one group that's going to lead the way. No, it comes down to you people planting yourselves firmly in the fucking ground and standing there and just being there and speaking to as many people as you possibly fucking can. That's what makes change, right? Oh, shit. There, it's Robert Lanza, and he sounds an awful lot like Brenda if you listen closely. Robert Lanza, I would, was it said Adam Lanza? I know that name. I read a book or something a while ago on Lanza, and it was a thing. I'm sure I put it in a video, an earlier video. It was biocentrism. Interesting if anybody wants to check it out. The guy Lanza, I can't remember if it's Robert or Adam, who was involved in a lot of stem cell research, and had come up with this concept, this idea. So for anybody that's interested in it, check it out. You're not going to get anywhere with it. It's the same as the rest of them. You know, it's just people trying to, you know, put two and two together to come up with fucking five. Dale, you know what I sometimes think? Imagine humans as weed plants. The sun are the lights, rain the water, and as humans we sow our seeds. Haha, take it easy, my man. I wouldn't disagree that there's a lot of these that are weeds. In a pretty garden, making it look a fucking mess. Adam Lanza is a guy who was blamed for the Sandy Hook school shootings at Ian Moss, Edinburgh. All right, okay. So, you know, I just associate the name Lanza with, you know, what I've came across. So, aye, Elisa Hawks just confirming that with the Adam Lanza. The Lanza I'm talking about, I can't remember now what his actual name is. I think it is Adam, to be honest with you. Give me a wee second just to check this. Biocentrism. Robert Lanza. Robert Lanza. There's not much there to go on. People just need to go digging themselves to find out. You'll get some talks with Robert Lanza and what he was all about. So, right. I need a smoke. Hang on now. Hang on. Gav, I don't know if you're hearing this, but you're welcome to join whenever you're ready, mate. As I say to everybody else, I will have a format sorted out for next Saturday. so that we can just continue to have the open platform on a Saturday night, in the hopes that some people will come forward, and if not, people will just use it to hear whatever they want. But again, still right now, people can get it on the phone or on the chat box if there's something you want me to bring up or focus on. Maybe leave it sea level, take it easy, whatever you're up to. And well, I remember, you know, Bill, Flat Earth, Florida, has been hard at work off his own back, compiling a wee video of the many people who have appeared on the platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick a wee link to it. I'm going to put that directly into the chat box for anybody that wants to have a wee look at it. I appreciate Bill's efforts there, just to capture, you know, the majority of people who have appeared and compile it into one video. And it is 6.5 hours long, so I'm going to work my way through that like a wee series. Right. Allegedly, Dave did a much better job on the discussion with astrophysicists than GMTV. Any chance he dropped a bollock, or was it intentional? Just saying, keep a keen eye on shit like that, especially on national TV, and forget about the American side of truth. It's too convoluted and full of distractions. Try not to rally, as I've been caught out at a few meetups with undesirables. Fuck the bullshit and push the point forward, even if people don't want to listen. Danny, Newcastle, exactly, Danny. And that's why I've kind of held back. But, you know, Rock Vibrations, Leslie, has booked a wee event, which I'm just going to read out for people right now. Just reminded me. Just bear with me a wee second, people. Just bear with me. So Leslie, Rock Vibrations has booked a hall, and that is booked for Saturday the 23rd of June from 3 PM to 7 PM. And it's Spot Village Hall, and that's in Edinburgh. Let me see, just check here. Spot Hall, it's the 23rd of June. No frills, only travel costs for anyone. A simple meat and barbecue, I'll get it for 8 hours if I can. That should be long enough. Blah, blah. So that's the destination, Spot Hall in Edinburgh. And it's the 23rd of June from 3 PM to 7 PM for anybody who's interested. So for me personally, I'm not going to be arranging anything like that from now on. As I say, I'm not willing to put people in any of these positions because there is just so much fuckery going on, and I don't want to contribute to any of that. Again, if anybody wants to meet me on a personal level, you know, have a chat, whatever, the door's always open. People are welcome. You can contact me, you can message me. People already know where I live. There's no requirement for me to get people grouped together because I'm not in control of who's going to show up to that and what information may be getting gathered. So I think it's something I have to be very cautious of from now on in. And again, I'm only doing it for the right reasons, not for any other reasons that people may want to profess. You know, I speak for myself. So again, I'm open to people wanting to come and have conversations with me on a private, personal level. Whatever, you know, we can have a get together, we can have a meet up, but just contact me off your own back. All right. And again, you know, if people still want to hold meetups, if people still want to have gatherings, let me know, you know, and I'll shout it out. But for me personally, I'm not going to be, you know, responsible for organising any of these things. So I hope people understand the reasons why. If you go up any hill or mountain, it's measured from sea level. Dumbass cunts can't get that. Low life sinner, exactly, mate. You know, I spoke to a surveyor the other day, you know, and again, you know, in conversation, the same things were coming up, you know, and asking him sea level, you know, blah, 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 what geometry are you employing, and, you know, how are you distinguishing elevations, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, again, these people who have the hands-on skills know these things. It just has to be pointed out to them, you know. And again, this, you go up, you finna. Gases are the same as liquids, you know. The whole point of this, again, when we're looking at objective reality, for just as an individual, you're exploring your reality. You're living in air, you're living in a gaseous, pressurized environment. How is that possible? How is that to be created? You know, if somebody's telling me that out with it, there's some other medium, whether it be a vacuum, a liquid, whatever it is, then there has to be a separation. Now, you know, taking, you know, a reading from sea level where you have the densest gas, you know, and as you move up, you know, again, gas has mass to it. So, you know, the more mass you have, you get more pressure, the lower down you go, like in a body of liquid. But gases also separate into density layers. So there's gases that are less dense than the air that you're experiencing at sea level. So as you go up and you're experiencing these gas, which is less dense, you still, when we come to understanding the physical world and how things are actually existing, things have to have a containment. Liquids and gases, pressures must have a containment. That's just what we know in reality. You know, don't shoot the messenger. That's just life. People have a hard time accepting it. Yes, Mr. Lanza was in one of your earlier videos. He's a world-class scientist, Robert Lanza, for sure. Yeah, and I know at the time he was getting some grief because, you know, he's a biologist as far as I'm aware. You know, what he was a proponent for goes against the neo-Darwinian materialistic conception of our existence. You know, and you know, things have to be explained in regards to natural processes. So matter appeared from nothing, and matter somehow, you know, formulated information and put it into a single-celled organism, and then new information arrived, and it bred, and it made new complex lives and stuffs. Just total fucking lunacy. So of course, you know, people like Robert Lanza and many other people who have come out with, you know, a different narrative have met some serious opposition. You know. Right. Well, hang on. So Rock's saying she's putting out a wee video on her channel with the info soon, so people look out for that on Rock Vibrations channel. Right, let me have a wee look here, because I was going to get through some of the comments as well on the, what's that called? Steve McCreep, Red's Retarded and Gimp Panda Wrecked video, which was the video that I made where I wanted the material to highlight these idiots and their behaviours. Oh, and there you go, the very first comment I'm looking at, Stuart Smith. If we are in a container, like you said, why does the air pressure change the higher up you go? If the air is pressurised in a container, like you say, and pushes out in all directions, can you help me understand the reality as C, thanks? Well, I've just explained it. Sure, I hope you heard what I just explained. And if you deny it and you doubt it, Go again and check for yourself. Gases have density just the same as liquid. Okay? Another matter. Gas is a matter. Right? So the varying types of gas have different densities. And again, just like in a swimming pool, swim to the bottom and you will notice that there's more pressure on you. Your ears pop. You feel it. Right? That's because there's more mass bearing down on top of you. It's the same with gas. Right? Ian McCreath, Egypt. Oh, thank you, Ian. Wonderful insights. Let me see. Jimmy boy, Dell, time to hang up the ego and lies. Well, Jimmy, I hardly think that, you know, I have to hang up any ego. You know, if I had an ego, I would still be sitting here clinging desperately to a belief structure, no wanting to admit that I was wrong. That's the total opposite. You know, I believed for the majority of my life. Now, what kind of committed egotist would, you know, change over 38 years, you know, in a very short space of time to something they assumed and believed to be true for all that time? No me. All right? So stop talking pish, son. I'm afraid your cult subjects are waking up to the BS and your daddy replacement appeal. Okay, so we'll get some, you know, Freudian fucking psychological analysis going on here. You know, my cult subject. So apparently anybody who pays attention here, you are a cult subject. I am the cult leader. You're under my spell. You are not thinking for yourself. You have been influenced by me and my pineal gland fucking, you know, puppeteer methods. Aye. I have that power, apparently. You know, a nobody from a fucking housing scheme in the west of Scotland sitting in a shed. It must be the power of the wood or something. Eric Satie, I skipped around and landed on you calling Steve an absolute pathetic wee dweeby weasel. Are you here to discuss ideas or throw around playground insults? No, I'm not discussing ideas. You know, I'm highlighting sophistry and, you know, NLP tactics from manipulative, lying, deceitful little fucking toe rags is what I'm doing. So, you know, it's not an insult, you know, it's a fact based on observations of the behaviours that he displayed. Simple. I don't have a beef. I don't have any personal reasons to call him names. I don't know him on a personal level. I have no emotional attachment to Steve McCreep or any of his ankle biter followers. None whatsoever. If we're talking about objective reality and he wants to display, you know, willful ignorance, then I'm going to call it. Okay? Tenchi 212. I legitimately feel sorry for flat earthers if they have these guys on their side. Again, playing to this, you know, herd mentality. And this is what they continually try and push. You know, they always think that people are going to fall into these traps of following, which is true. And there's a certain level of responsibility when it comes to people if they're up here in the public eye representing stuff, because you have to be aware that that's exactly the mindset that people may fall into, which is why I continually play it down, which is why you'll hear me saying, you know, don't follow BTIC, don't, you know, treat BTIC as some sort of authority or influence. The whole point of BTIC is to empower each individual so they stand on their own two fucking feet, right, without the necessity to resort to some authority. right? And again, it's difficult for people when people get upset by that, but again, it's testament to the integrity and the walk that I'm walking. That is really that's what I'm about. That's what I'm trying to achieve, right? And I'm going to play down it every chance I get any of that type of behaviour. So, never mind these guys on their side. Nobody should be on anybody's side. You should be learning to stand on your own fucking 2 feet and discern for yourself. Be on your own fucking side. Forget the arguments, forget the logic. Forget the reality itself, especially if you think it's a fucking globe, because for one, that's all it has is arguments, because it's religious crap. It has no logic, and it's no based in reality. So dismiss it immediately. Eradicate it from your mind. If any of you have any sense at all, disown these fucks, because, apparently you hold us close to your heart. You have to disown us, Again, they obviously feel that people like myself are a threat, and that people are influenced by people like me. So they have to play to that to try and get you to disown me because, Dale's your household name and you hold them dear in your heart. Fuck off. They will do more to crush your movement than any piece of contrary evidence ever could. Again, appealing to this herd mass mentality movement. We're all going the same direction. No, we're fucking no. No, we ain't. This is not about that. It's not about, come and join my club. Let's vote for Dale and Beyond the Imaginary Curve to be the representative. You can see exactly what they're trying to achieve with this bullshit. It tells you a lot about their psychology. Artist Phil B, you made one point and were shown to be wrong. Can a pressurized system exist next to a vacuum? They pointed out that we can observe that pressure exists as a gradient when you go up a mountain. The question and the point was not about the gradients. The question was not a focus on the density of gases and their separations and mass, causing pressure bearing down upon. That was not what the point was. The point was back to a base foundation. What science, exploration of objective reality. Okay, we've established that there's an air pressure. Okay. So we've got people telling us there's a vacuum. We've got people telling us there's liquid out with our environment. Therefore, we go to physics. We go to everyday reality. What's tested, demonstrated, put into practice. Okay. So in order for us to even create, let's start with any, thing. Let's start with a vacuum. Okay, right. Okay, we need a container to even make a vacuum. Okay. Now how do we pressurize the vacuum? We still need the container. So that was the point. And what's the relationship between a pressurized environment and a non-pressurized environment? Without any solid separation, you will have equilibrium. Right? That was the point. But they know exactly what we're pointing at, and they just waffled, try to tie people up in gradients and all this fucking garbage. Look at my firework. So they never made any fucking point. They never produced anything other than their sophistry. Fucking bullshit is what they produced. Okay? So, artist Phil B, I suggest that you stop following these utter cretins because they're warping your mind, son. Archaeopteryx, you flat morons were destroyed and didn't have a single intelligent point. Well, Archaeopteryx, that's because you play into this false dichotomy and you've got a religious bias that you want to prop up, and you're going to look at that in your wee subjective, idiotic mind and take from it whatever you like. Okay, there was no battle, there was no argument, there was me there to take the piss, call them fucking names, and get the material that are required. We get up the next day, we are now a week over it, and what's changed? Nothing. Nothing. Again, getting back to the point that I kept trying to say to these fucking morons, stop perpetuating the false dichotomy, us against them, two sides. We're meant to be representing objective science. Let's just push to have this out in the open to the majority, to the white populace. Let us have a transparent, open discussions and analysing of what is objectively true and what is not, so that we can put it to bed once and for all. The more that these dipshits try and perpetuate this, debate type thing, it's part of the propaganda, it's part of the psyop to drag people into a never-ending fucking circle that doesn't go anywhere. You can go and watch debate channels in regards to consciousness, evolution, creationism, or flat earth versus globe earth. There's Facebook groups, there's YouTube content providers, debate. What the fuck's achieved? Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. A big waste of fucking energy and time for everybody. That's what it's for. Okay? Soon as somebody titles it debate, you know there's an issue. They're either fucking stupid or they have an agenda that they're working to. GT the game 316. Hi Dill, I have some globe believers pointing me to meniscus and telling me that this show water curves. I just wondered if you have destroyed this nonsense before. Many times, man, many times. The idiocy of these people is that they're going to point you towards meniscus and like a test tube. Now look at what's a test tube. It's a container to contain the liquid. Ta-da! Groovin South 2, Mustaine's at it again, Dale. So left me a link to some video. I'm gonna, I guess it's Michelle Thaler. Yeah, maybe give that a wee look at a later point. Maybe get through it. Nope. Graham Taylor, Dale is a fucking moron with anger issues. No, Dale used to have anger issues in his younger years when Dale never understood his own mind. Now Dale has selective times where, I display emotive expressions where I think it's relevant. Okay, a bit of showmanship here and there, which I have, openly discussed and displayed. Now, anger issues is when, your emotions overcome you and you don't know, you can't root the issues that you have psychologically and emotionally, and you just lash out and wreck the place and take a tantrum and get a sore throat and strain your veins. The guy that, I once was in my depressed years, as I was figuring out a lot of the baggage that I had with me, Dell is nowhere near that today. Okay, Dell uses his experience of times gone by and applies it to where he thinks it's appropriate. All right. Now, when I come up against people that are trying to oppress, when I come up against people who are trying to shut down critical thought and empowerment to each and every individual, and perpetuate bullshit and bollocks, then I'm going to display it continually. And the reason people like you come with that is because you're wee manipulative dipshits that are running shit don't like that attitude because you can't deal with it. They depend upon the authoritarian established school regime where you bow to authority and I must mind my P's and Q's and I better not get angry and I better not swear because I will be judged. That doesn't work in here. All that bullshit has been eradicated because I've seen it as a control mechanism. It's gone. And you're not going to fucking shut me up. So fuck off. Okay? Cunty bollocks. Another request. Can you put this clown in his place, please? Rich Ferguson, right? That was the link. I seen that. I'll have a wee look at that. Maybe do Rich Ferguson and Michelle Thaler and display their fucking idiocy. Right. I think I've exhausted the point. No, we've got Edwin Van Gent, who is another, spammer, another stalker. But no, I'm hearing noises, so fuck Edwin. All right, Gav.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm here to get my £100.
Are you?
So yeah, I want to know where to send the picture to. So I've got a picture. It's I had to Photoshop it, but it has to be. It has to be. So.
Oh well, that's scientific measurable proof, Gav. So if you get a fucking picture, I'm fucked. I don't have an answer for that.
Aye, well, I see. I thought that. So the £100's mine. So. I love the last two videos, my man. Good job.
Cheers, man. Well, as I say,
especially like the one with the bottle. You know what I mean? So that you were out there, giving the indirect approach, making people the self-evidence of it was just so clear. Some people got it immediately. Some people actually tried. Some people had a laugh. So yeah, it must have been a great day. But the main thing is, I think that people see those self-evident things for themselves and realize that knowledge, that power that we have, that water cannot bend, is enough to throw every single sophist out the fucking window. So
exactly. Well,
it's a great video.
That was a beauty. It doesn't matter what walk of life. From university lecturers to the common person on the street, and you're getting that response. Well, water can't bend, but there's £100 involved, so I'm going to fucking try my hardest. But you just hope that that's enough, and maybe the laugh and the wee. It's not something they're going to experience every single day. So you just hope there's enough in effect where they'll go back and maybe talk about it to other people. They'll think about it. Who knows? That's the only hope you have in it. So.
No, it was a great example of the kind of, how should I say, creative ways we need to find to keep pushing this and progressing it.
Yeah.
So,
and the other.
Sorry, on you go.
On you go.
No, I was just going to say, and the other video, I was just going to say the same thing. I mean, maybe so that people understand a little bit how it all happened. That I answered that call from Steve McRae, who posted somehow. Something along the lines of, flat earthers are too fucking stupid and nobody's got any credentials, And me, I want to keep pushing things out. I want to get this in the open, because the more it's in the open, the more it's discussed, the more chance we have of rational, reasonable discussion. Yeah. And if it doesn't happen, then, that what we discussed on Sunday, then fine, let's just get the material, or, your suggestion, let's just get the material and fucking rip the piss out of them afterwards, because we can show them up for their sophistry again, So either way, I thought it was a success. I mean, I know they're trying to spin it as being some kind of, but as you said, the truth of the matter is we've got the truth on our side, and they're still fucking flat. It's not a globe, So it's actually been good that it's come out in the open. People are discussing it. It gives the whole thing another kick forward, and that's what BTEC's all about, right? Progression.
Well, as I expressed to you, my reservations and my issues with it, and other aspects like they're monetized, and I don't want to be contributing to that. But as I says to you, you seen that I was in there on their comments thread giving them fucking abuse, because as far as I was aware, the emails that you showed me, it was, in my mind, it was Steve McRae and his co-host, and then right. I go to the fucking, the advertised live, and it's fucking Gimp Panda versus fucking Beyond Him, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I could see it fucking coming, but just as you rightfully say, for me, it was just an opportunity. You can predict the behaviours you're going to encounter. So fuck it, let's just use it as an opportunity to tear it apart and show them exactly for what they are. And again, people with these ideas that we are somehow the presidential candidates and that it's had a detrimental effect. You fuck off. I walk this walk, And if I think it's useful material, then I'm going to use it for exactly that. And it worked for that. And again, you know, we're now a week, even the day after. What's fucking changed? Nothing. No, they're still trying to drag people into the false dichotomy of debate. But you get people like yourself, you get people like me, and admittedly yourself, you know, maybe a bit of naivety, but through a willingness to just want to, you know, make things happen and hope that you're still going to have this honest discussion, you know, can drive you to the points. But
well, I mean, that's the thing. When you have normal people, you know, to speak to, then you have that sensibility that you're going to have a reasonable discussion with somebody, and you actually hope for it, right? You know, even if they're the worst, biggest wankers and idiots in the world, you know, you think, okay, you can still manage to get a reasonable discussion and speak to them. But you know, obviously, when they're like these people are, there's no hope for them, you know, and you can see that better than I can, you know. So. But, I mean, the funny thing I thought, though, was, you know, the double standards employed. I mean, you know, I've said this many a time, and I'll repeat it here, that you don't need credentials to observe natural reality and come to the conclusions. But it was really double standards of them to cry out for people with credentials. And then when you pulled it up on them, like nobody had any, you know, on their side, you know. So I thought that was quite funny, you know.
They don't need any credentials because they know people that have got them. You know, they've based in high places that they don't have any association with it that they can pull out to represent it. You know, we've got Copernicus and fucking Newton. You know, non-entities from storybooks.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's the thing. They've got a real lack of, you know, real physicists and engineers coming out on their side. You know, it's not as if they're queuing up to show us bendy water. We've said this often enough. Nobody's going to make a complete fucking embarrassment of themselves by trying to do that, you know. So, I mean, they've got absolutely nothing. And it was shown again and again and again, you know, I thought, you know. And, you know, Steve McCreep, I loved your name, Shreds Retarded and fucking Gimp Panda. But, you know, it looked like, you know, General Custer's last fucking stand, you know, because they must be feeling really, how should I say, nearly afraid, Del, you know, with all these common sense Indians now running rings round them, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to defend still this, you know, fucking infantile, imbecilic fucking notion that we're on a spinning space testicle, you know? So, you know, they just look stupid as far as I'm concerned, you know, and I know they'll try and spin it with their sophistry and their rhetoric, but people see through that now, Chief.
the idiots that subscribe to the false dichotomy will obviously, you know, be influenced by these types of things, but they're just that, they're idiots. You know, and it's, you know, I really don't care about any of that, so it's up to them to snap out of it, and eventually they will, you know, when these people are leading them up the fucking garden path. And actually ripping the piss out of them, you know. So
I mean, it started even with the you know, as you say, the very fact that my email was very specific. I want a discussion with Mr. McRae, and he could feel free to bring people along with him, right? But the very fact that they put us up against two faceless potatoes, you know, I mean, not only are these people discourteous and impolite, and that, you know, they're too afraid to show themselves. You know, that was the start, you know, where you just think to yourself, how can you have a reasonable conversation with people like that? You can't, right? And at the end of the day, all you can say is, guys, you know, give us your sophistry, we'll fucking show it up for what it is, and fuck you know.
You've seen my attitude, you know, as soon as we went in there. I think I arrived 10 minutes before it was due to go on. You know, I had the attitude because I was pissed off with them right away, you know, and I was going to display that. They didn't even have the courtesy to say hello. They didn't have the courtesy to introduce themselves. There was no courtesy in regards to, you know, a flair, a format, you know, how it was going to be, how it was going to go. Absolutely nothing. It was just a quick, this guy's fucking giving his abuse. Quick, get on live and quick. We hadn't even been on, and I'm sitting fucking pointing at Steve McRae saying, I see what you're doing, you cunt. You know, don't give me any of your fucking bullshit. So guys like him don't like that. They expect again for people to fall into this political correct fucking infantile, you know, looking up to authority. I'll sit here and I'll not say anything. No, fuck you. If you're showing me that behaviour, I'm going to point it at you and I'm going to put you in the spot. You know. So
no, absolutely. I mean, I think we're going to have to erect safe spaces now for Globers pretty soon. You know. places where they can go and whinge and cry, you know, like the fucking snowflakes they are. So, yeah,
Well-
but let's do that. Globe Earth safe spaces at universities.
Aye. We'll have sensitive baby wipes on hand.
Yes, absolutely.
Aye.
I
So,
know it was a lot of desperate clowns, you know. But yeah, I think it's good because again, I feel that I mean, again, lots of people. This platform has made a difference, right? To the overall thing. I don't think anybody would ever deny that. And it's good to keep progression and pushing it out in the open and making all these things transparent. And the very fact that it's people are talking about it is a good thing. It's a good fucking thing because let people who are watching it discern for themselves. If they're still falling into the same old traps, right? Believing these globers, then fine, they're not ready yet. But it's good for everybody else who gets sharpened their tools, see what the tricks are, right? And the way they try to derail conversation. Because, as you say, there was no discussion about the first principles again. I mean, they use, for example, this pressure gradient stuff, which is gradients are a mathematical definition, once again, right? Of sophistry, of redefining terms, and all they had was an abuse of words, because that's all they're doing with that stuff, right? And the more people see it, the better it is,
Exactly. And again, the traps is just that. It's this trying to trap people into feeling like there's an argument, like two sides of a coin, and they have to be in one camp and they battle with this other camp. If you're coming up against that, you need to remove your attention straight away because you're not dealing with the right people. What you're looking for is mature, critical adults who are willing to discuss and are intellectually honest, about the objective reality they're experiencing. And that's what you're looking for. So people just need to focus their attention on that aspect of it and not get involved in this, I'm going to get up there and I'm going to do battle with these and I'm going to score a point and I'm going to win, because who are you scoring a point for? What are you trying to win? There's no win. There's no point scoring. It's just going to sap your attention and everybody else's attention. It's fucking useless.
Yep. No, spot on. It's it's reasonable discussion that's needed, and we need to agree on certain things. Like we can't invoke the use of fairies and goblins in our arguments. We can't invoke visibles as proof of measurement, right? We can't. All these things need to be laid out in a format. We need to agree on it, and then we can discuss things. But they don't ever want to go there, right? They don't want to talk about invisible forces and unobservable reality and all these kind of things. They just want to set up a straw man, get the division, keep the debate going, because that's all they have, words and sophistry. Yeah,
exactly. And it comes down to simplicity yet again. We're talking about real people and how we demonstrate things, what real science is about, practicality, showing what we find, showing what we claim we find, and that's where it really comes down to. That's it. There's no debates and heated arguments and blah 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 blah. It's just simple. So they don't even have the ability to start from that fundamental level. They're already jumping in right away with fallaciousness, appeals to authority, assumptions, appeal to history, whatever the fuck it is they're up to.
They have to do that, Dale. They have to do that because they know if the conversation goes back to the first principles and people agree on that, then they've lost their arguments,
Yeah.
They know they can't win. That's why they avoid it like the fucking plague.
No, they come in under the guise and the premise that they're part of an embodied mass institution and that's what they represent. And we're coming in, I can only represent me and you can only represent you and everybody else can only represent themselves. That's it. As soon as we start going, my gang said, that's fucking useless.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
sorry, I thought you were going through the comments, so I didn't want to interrupt. But
I'm done with that. I've gave that enough attention. It's just the same old fucking waffle. That's what I'm saying. It makes you wonder: are these soccer accounts just regurgitating the same thing, or is it new people that are just wet behind the ears and they think, they've got the right info and they're going to come and I don't know.
I think it's mostly bots. I think it's mostly automated bots that they've got on the go. I'm pretty sure they've got technology that helps them, you know, make these things easier for them, because
Aye. Well,
a really bad echo.
aye.
That's just me.
It might be your end there, mate. Well, I've seen that. I've seen it recently. I've started to clock a lot of the same copy pastes all through YouTube on various different videos, especially people who are putting out good content and good information that's obviously a threat. You know, they're just copy pasting the exact same bullshit into all these comment sections. So you're probably right in regards to the bots, you know.
I mean, there will be new people coming that are listening to the arguments for the first time, and as you say, they're trying awful hand to defend or make sure that these people don't jump into direct reality and direct realism and keep them in all these dichotomy, you know, all these false arguments.
Aye.
But and I think they need more bots to do that. You know, the more people get awake, the more bots they'll need, right?
Yep. It seems like that's their only kind of option just now, is to try and sway anybody new who may be, you know, starting to question or sitting on a fence or whatever. You know, I think that's what it's aimed at. You know, it's certainly not aimed at any of us specifically. You know, it's been tried over and over again. So they're obviously there with underhanded tactics trying to influence the onlooker, you know, which is why I'm going to continue to just keep addressing it. Every now and again, I'm going to pull these repetitive comments up and go through it so that people can hear a response to it, and hopefully it triggers them into a realisation, you know.
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, I actually saw a couple of things. It was my daughter, my eldest daughter, sent me a link. Now, I don't often talk to her about it. You know, I mean, sometimes we have conversations. But she obviously follows a guy called Sean Dawson, who just very recently, and she sent me that link the day before yesterday, saying, Dad, look, you know, there's people talking about it. And I actually had a listen, and the video that he's on is actually not bad, right? He's trying to be fairly balanced. He's actually got some nice information there about audio illusions.
Yeah.
The fact that if you hear a bit of scrambled audio that you can't decipher, and then somebody shows you a piece of text, and then you hear it again, then you can actually hear in that inaudible stuff. So, you know, a little bit of inquiry into the human mind, which I actually thought was very good. Yeah. And the conversation he had with his brother was fairly balanced. There was a couple of points in there where you think, okay, but you know, for me, it's a good sign, right? The more it's in the open, the more it's out. And if my daughter's sending me links, right, from her, the people that she's watching, I mean, this guy's got something like 10 million viewers or something like that, or 10 million subscribers, you know. So
I did kind of predict that would start to happen anyway. And I did reference that very video at the beginning of this, saying that, you know, I may get to it. Because again, it was just it shows some good examples of the propaganda. And even the brother who was articulating it, you know, had the wherewithal to say, you know, not to generalise everybody, but saying, you know, a good majority of people who profess flat earth go with this particular map and model. So he was trying to be quite balanced and fair. So I probably will, you know, a later date. I'm going to look at that, maybe in the new Michelle Thaler and this other guy, Ferguson, and, you know, just get through their fucking stupidity. But I was quite impressed with that. I thought it was a wee bit more level-headed, to be honest with you.
Yep, no, me too. No, I quite enjoyed that. If that's going to be, if you like, the level of intellectual honesty that's coming also from these younger YouTube channels, then great, you know. I mean, we can still, I think, as old fighters in this game, point out some of the problems that they still have, right? Where they're not maybe seeing some of the bigger sophistry. But so it was good though. I quite enjoyed it. I'm not giving it a condoning here.
You know, one of the main issues I had with it was, you know, he was honest enough to say, you know, right now he doesn't know. But then he goes and, you know, kind of shits on it a wee bit with what does it really matter? You know, it was a wee bit, you know, lazy at best. You know, a bit of intellectual laziness there. To suggest that it doesn't matter is absolutely fucking preposterous. Of course it fucking matters, you know. So that was pretty much the worst point I really found with it. You know,
that's what I thought too. And then he went in to talk a little bit about religion after that. You know, the biggest thing is I have purpose, and then it kind of fell a little bit into religion. You know, so yeah, I still think there's wrong arguments in there. And as I've said before, youth is wasted on the young. You know, I know what that means. You know, I wish he could, you know, have our experience in that young body, that he could, you know, he'd see a bit more. you know. So,
Well,
but
time, hopefully, man. You know.
I thought it's positive.
As I say, I'll have a look at it maybe through the week along with these other ones and just have a wee analysing through it. But there's, as I say, there's not really much there to be tearing apart, you know, other than just to analyse the actual conversation and point out some bits, you know. But,
Right, cool.
yeah. So, other than that, you know, I've not had much. I've not seen much else happening, you know. No new revelations. Same old.
Same old. Well, I've got a little announcement to make about a mobile application. So I don't know. You remember my friend Neil? Must have been about a year ago now. We put out that iEarth app, which is the ability to take observations, you know, of the altitude and elevation of luminaries, right? To make real life observations of things, using mobile app. Well, the app's free. Right, so you know, Neil had some medical treatment. We found another way to manage that. So the app, he's agreed to put the app out for free. It's been free since yesterday. So I'd just like to say to people, anybody who wants to download that app again, and use it to make observations of anything. It can be, there's a curve calculator in there, right? So you can calculate the supposed curve. There's going to be an angular size calculator as well, which is something that I see other people are talking about now. The fact that, you know, perspective plays a role in the supposed curve calculation, and that's always been part of their deception by leaving that out or by switching it. What we call the switcheroo. So and one of the important things is that the app will also be in an Android version. So we're working on that at the moment to make an Android version, because I know not everybody has an iPhone. And the data will be put into a public blockchain. Now, blockchain, I don't know how much people know about it, but it's a distributed system whereby, you know, it's decentralized, nobody has control of it, and all that data can then be utilized by basically anybody for free, right? So that, you know, we can amass data that belongs to the people, taken by the people, so that, you know, these observations are not just in the hands of controlled institutions, but that we actually have a publicly available library, if you like, of imagery that, you know, we can use to help discern where the fuck we are, you know. So again, I'm not advocating looking at the sky to find measurable proof. What I'm looking to find is that people get out there, make their own observations, that stuff gets stored and saved for the good of all of us, right? To analyze as we see fit, and to use that to, you know, to uncover anomalies in what they're telling us, right?
And is it anonymous? I mean, people that want to contribute to that, they can do so anonymously, or?
Yes. So I mean, the only thing, there's two things. You can have a blockchain that's completely anonymous, or one that's permissible, they call it, whereby in that case you would probably need a login. But when I say login, it can be any email address, so it's just as anonymous as your YouTube account, right? Because it's just an email. So yes, it's anonymous, right? So, you know, we're not looking to gather information about MD. We're just looking to gather observations and make them available to everybody. So,
what, a public library then, type idea.
Yeah, that would be the idea. As I say, I just want to push that out there, you know, make people aware that they can go to the App Store and download it. An Android version will be available, I hope, in about 2 months. And then the blockchain, the application's called iEarth, AYE, and then Earth, all one word.
Well, apps and shit like that are a wee bit above my station, so the only thing I can do is just ask questions about it, man. So, you know, I've got nothing to contribute to that. I don't know any of the workings or how it would work. I'm fucking retarded in that aspect, and I'm not shy to admit it. So,
in this case, all you need to do is point it at something, get the crosshairs in the right place, press the save button, and then upload it. So we're going to make it really simple.
Thanks. And then everybody has access to that. Is that right then? Right?
That's right. There would be a website where people can access that data, extract it, So
use it for content, you know, whatever they
whatever
like.
you want, whatever they like. Yep.
Excellent. Nice
And
one.
I just want, you know, the how should I say, the observable data in the hands of the people and not in the hands of controlled institutions, you know. That's, you know, where I feel the journey has to go, you know. So
Yeah. Very good. Very good on you. As I say, I don't know fuck all about any of that because, you know, I've just not got any input to know. But I'm sure once it's available, what is that I've got then? What's that classed as a Samsung? Is that
you'll have an Android phone,
Android?
you'll need to wait.
And then I'll need to get somebody to show me how to work the fucker.
I'll do that. I'll come over personally.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's everything for progress, Chief. Yeah. So I think that's what this needs. Out in the open, transparency. You know, let's get everybody talking about it, looking at it. You know, that's the only way to keep going. All these fucking circle jerks and debates and fucking, you know, that's not getting us anywhere. You know. So
No.
it's
People getting active in regards to speaking to each other and, as you say, you know, observations, pointing out anomalies, getting a catalogue together of that, something that you can reference for people to have a look at, sift through themselves. You know, perfect.
right.
Like a public
That's
library, you know?
Yep.
Aye.
No, definitely, and I'd like to thank Neil here because he's the man that built it, and you know, without his permission to put it out for free, it wouldn't happen either. So
Aye. Good stuff. Cheers.
maybe we can demo it again at some point at some later stage.
Aye.
Yeah, just to show everybody and keep them up to date on what's going on. You know.
Aye. Just whenever when you've got it sorted out, mate, you know, you can show it anytime you want.
Cool.
Aye, good stuff. Well, as I say, mate, I've not got the means right now to open up to have anybody else in, so I was just planning on a wee kind of short 2-hour one, highlight some of these points, and that's pretty much it. Next Saturday, I'll have things sorted out so I can open back up and
Yeah.
people in. You know?
Yep. Sure. I always look forward to people dialing in and telling us their experience and where they are, and you know, just showing themselves. So you know, look forward to that. Well,
Right.
I'll leave you in peace, my man. It's late here anyway, so catch you soon. And thanks everybody in the chat and everybody that supports this platform. Stay cool, stay on the level, and see you all soon.
Take it easy, man.
See you, Dale.
Cheers,
Cheers,
bud.
man.
See you later, mate. So, let's just see. Right. Make sure the data on the app is freely given. The new changes to data protection will be all over that, probably covered, but worth mentioning. Yes, I say, Danny, cheers for the input, mate, because I'm just not, you know, in regards to the technicalities of apps and these devices, I'm pretty backwards with it, to be honest with you, so appreciated, man. Here's a quick thought on division within Flat Earth from an old 80s track. When two tribes go to war, a point is all that you can score. Exactly, man. So fuck all the drama and debate with morons, folks. Just point and laugh at them. The truth is simple and self-evident for all to see. All people got to do is keep it simple so that a child can understand it. If a kid don't get it, then you're not explaining it right. Haha. Cheers, Dale Gav and all, Mr. Cheswick. Fucking spot on, Mr. Cheswick. Couldn't agree more, mate. All right, Dale and Gav, good to see you laughing at the twats in their so-called debate. I think I should win the £100 because if I lie down on my back with a full bladder and get my cock out, I can piss into my mouth. Alakazam, bendy water. These people have nothing left, same old shit. Just another day. Their arguments are getting so tired, you would think by now these people would be embarrassed to carry on with their horse shit. Best wishes, the Maloney brother, Brighton. Exactly, man. You know, well, that's it. We'll just make it that way for them, as we say, Mr. Cheswick say. Just point and laugh. You shouldn't have a necessity or a requirement to feel like you have to combat with somebody else. You know, you're entering into the wrong realms there. You know what you know for yourself and stand firm in that. And that's pretty much it. You know, if you can have a discussion with open and honest people, fine, have that discussion. But don't go to these fucking closed minds with an agenda and think that you're going to do battle and score a point, because it's not going to achieve fuck all. They're not there to have honest discourse. They are there to try and perpetuate bollocks and keep people in ignorance. And people like me are just going to keep pointing at it and going, there it's there, there it's there, there it's there. Laugh at them, stand up to them, tell them, fuck you, we're not accepting it. So, simple as that. Missed the hangout tonight, mate, but just wanted to reaffirm the point. Trust your natural senses, people. Nothing else matters, Kieran. Spot on, Kieran. Again, it's great to hear and see so many people who, you know, carry that forward, who have self-realised it, you know, actuated it, stand firm in it and represent it. That's exactly what's required. That's proper grassroots. That's going to make a huge difference. If you just keep that up, people, you know, and always remember to question your intent and to make sure that you're always pursuing that avenue. You're not selling out to your ego. You're not doing things for the wrong reasons. You need to always be questioning yourself. Make sure you keep yourself on track. So, right, as I say, people, just a short one tonight. It's only been a couple of hours, but I've not set anything up in regards to having people on yet. I'm going to try and iron this stuff out through the week, so that I can have that format reinstated for next Saturday. So again, appreciated to everybody. Moderators, I know that Magumba and Beyond Belief are there. Appreciated, guys. Appreciated to Gav for coming on, and everybody there that's joining in and paying attention. Much appreciated, people. I'll see you very, very soon. Take it easy.